Hello and welcome back to the Canceled Podcast.
Wow! We're back in my living room, which is super easy to set up, and it's no biggie.
It takes so long to set up here. That's why we've been shooting at the studio. We see all of your guys' comments. To be honest with you, Aaron, close your ears. I'm happy to not be shooting in that studio.
It's not Aaron's studio. He doesn't
But
care.
it's Oscar's studio. And I love them and I love the studio, but I swear I'm Long Island Medium and somebody fucking died there.
Well, also, I think canceled is just we were never supposed to be in a studio. You know, I think
As we're building a studio in my house.
but that's different. It's still like couch, like lax vibes. Like we're not.
I agree. Even Paige today was saying that something about sitting on the gray couch or even your couch evokes a completely different podcast. Like it's just because we feel so much more comfortable. Duh. And we're just not studio girls. Like the things that come out of our mouth and then it's like leaving that studio. I'm like, no.
Yeah, maybe that's why I feel so haunted.
And yeah. You know what? I'm so excited to podcast today. I feel like we have so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start.
Woohoo! What's your favorite thing?
Well, I think I should apologize to Tara's World.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I love her. And I don't know where I got off.
Wait, where's this apology coming from? Like, what is like...
Because I'm sitting there being like... I'm sorry. I'm just sitting there being like, you couldn't waterboard that out of me.
Well, okay, so you got clocked in the comments.
No, I haven't seen the comments. What do they say?
Well, I haven't seen the comments either, thankfully. But I did see like a clip of it on TikTok. And people were like, Tana having the nerve to say that like somebody else is a pygmy and not acknowledge like her past.
Okay, so that's what I presumed they say. It's weird. I could just feel it. I swear I'm the Long Island Medium. But like, just after putting that out, I was really like, where do I get off? I mean, obviously, I just thought it was funny that she was like pissing with the thing to be in the urinal and whatever. But I think I came at it with an air of judgment. And the other day I was going through my closet and I came across these Nocta. Are you familiar?
No.
These Nocta puffers. I'm sorry, I have to giggle so bad. I came across these Nocta puffers and it's like Drake's brand or it like was or whatever.
Rip.
And I had this, we have to talk about him in that I Feel Broke shirt too. But
I feel broke.
I remember I got these puffers and like I think someone got me one as a gift and then I bought another one and it's like they're very much like for the bros and the guys who love Drake. And I like remember I bought one and I like was like, Hunter, we have to do a whole photo shoot in this where I'm hot in this. And like I remember like Zach Bia loved the shoot and I was like, oh my God, now I have to wear my Nocta puffer everywhere. And I was like, I wanted all of his friends to like want to date me at that time. And I would like be walking around Brooke like the Michelin man, like big ass puffer. And I just saw them and I slowly moved them to my Depop pile. And I was like, God, I should apologize to Tara's World. It's like,
yeah, because you know, just because you didn't do it exactly like her, I feel like I tried to make that point in the moment. I think the only reason I really can't come for her, because like obviously it's embarrassing. I see that video and I'm like, that's stupid. But also, I have done so many things that she would probably even be ashamed of.
Yeah, and it's like, I love her. She's such a little sweet girl, and I feel like she gets so much unnecessary hate, and that's the last thing. I just thought the urinal thing was funny, but then it's like, Tana, you almost got a face tattoo.
Yeah.
A face tattoo.
That was
like
tough.
You have become your environment that is male-centered many a time. The Nocta, it just sent me like I really looked like a Hypebeast Michelin man. I was like getting rid of these big dunks with Jason Voorhees on the side, like the mask, like Jason Voorhees. And I was just like, you owe Tara's World like flowers. Like
I don't know. I really had a phase too, though. You wouldn't believe some of the things. Because like you look at me now and it's like, okay, like she has 4 outfits, so basic, like just a uniform that I wear all the time. But I was getting hootie with it for a second there too, especially in like the beginning of our friendship when I was really just finding my footing out here in LA. I was a hype beast. I was emo. I was all the things.
Same, 100% same.
And all to impress whatever guy I was trying to impress at that time.
And it's just like, yeah, I just owe her the biggest apology. Even now, I realized the other day, just even as going through my closet, I was getting rid of things and I was like, oh my God, like in this era, I thought I was Kylie Jenner. And in this era, I thought I was Billie Eilish. In this era, I thought I was Kamala Harris, you know, like just like put the blazer down, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, even now in this era of my life, don't reflect with my current outfit. But I think I'm Sophia Richie. As I have a jersey on. And it's like, but anyways, I put on these big ass pants the other day, like a big men's thermal shirt. And I was like, this is how I feel the most comfortable.
Yeah.
In a fit like this. So then what does that make me?
I like a
Tana?
boyish outfit too. Yeah, that just makes you Tana.
I'm just trying to figure out my personal style. It's not the octopus.
Me too, and I really struggle with it, but I think that that's just something that not everybody has. Like, I think there's a lot of shame around like not having your own sense of like style, and I don't think there should be, because maybe that's just not my thing. Just the same way as some people can't like fucking put a pen to paper and like write something beautiful. I cannot form a fucking good outfit.
I agree. It's like Isabella, that we've always been besties, and she's always like, the things she wore in high school she could wear today. Like, she's always known her style and like not really followed trends, like not against them, just like if it was trendy and she liked it, she'd wear it. But like, so, and I'm so the opposite. Like, even like the skinny jeans, like I see Alex Earl in these skinny jeans and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to wear skinny jeans. It's like, then don't.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel like you have to? You don't even like them.
I don't know, but I so get it. But you know what? I think it's like, it's definitely like an area of your brain that's like, there's like an area of responsible, because it's like the same way I'm like, no, I'm not artistic, but I have like, I'm able to paint well and draw well if I have a reference to copy. Nothing's coming straight from my brain.
At all. I couldn't agree more.
So I'm the same way in forming an outfit. Like I can see this and say, oh, I like this, I don't like this. Like I have judgment that is mine, but I can't formulate it in my head on my own. It doesn't naturally occur.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of judgment, you owe me the biggest apology.
What'd I do? Fuck.
The
okay.
boots. Go
I
ahead.
have to issue an apology to Tana Marie Mojo because I made fun of her, the Attico boots, all
wore
of
them.
tour, and then I wore them.
All of tour. She might as well have told me like, hey, kill yourself.
I did not. I just said like every day she's like, and like this outfit and the Attico boots, and every, you know, I was always kindly like, are you sure?
I love kindly.
You wore them yesterday.
And then she wore a pair of boots like them, and I just felt so vindicated. We know
But
the
I liked
ones.
them.
Yeah, those are actually different though.
Oh.
Because mine are flat, and those have a heel. So maybe
Yeah,
you still
those are
stand.
the ones. Those are the ones. Wait.
No. Those aren't the ones. It's those, but black and leather.
And like I get it. I guess I think it just reminds me of like a big like Yeti boot.
Yeah, no. And I don't know what it is, because I already have big stompers, right? Like I'm nearing a women's size 10 these days. And then I'm like, I still need an XL shoe. It's like, fee fi fo fum, you know?
Maybe it like dwarfs your foot. Big shoe, small foot.
That's what I think. I think it's like, oh no, they're just tiny in here. They're not.
That's like when I wear huge pants to show I don't have a butt.
It does kind of, I get it, the contrast. So we have a docket of things, and I don't even know where we should begin.
Alphabetical order, baby. Drake wore.
It made me feel broke on a t-shirt.
I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was fake. Is it? Are we 100% sure it's real?
100% sure it's real.
Hilarious. Whoever in his circle was like, you should wear this shirt. Like the girlies are gonna love it.
No, but why do I feel like it's him? Like he's just so
You
like.
think he's like online?
I feel like
that?
Drake like cream contours.
I think Drake is too sensitive to be chronically online, because he would be like me, like just crying.
Yeah, he's just can't you just like, I feel like right now Drake is somewhere like putting a Lush bath bomb in the tub. Like, he's just one of the
100%
girlies. Like,
buffing his nails.
it just, and imagine being Michaela. It's like no one could tell me shit.
It made me feel
if Drake, but it really just is, even just beyond the Michaela shit. It made me feel broke. I can't stop with it this week. It just,
I think it got taken out of context for sure, but also like, girl.
no, fuck the context. What do you ever?
Well, because she was saying things that like were like broke. She was like, oh, and we couldn't afford groceries. But it's like, it's just that
Yeah.
it made me feel broke. Like I feel broke is such a funny concept, because it's like, you're either broke or you're not.
Yeah, it like was so funny to me, because I'll forever, whenever I hear the sound, relate it to an emotion from Inside Out. Like just in the corner, like can't get the meal. Like it's
What's
like
the emotion, broke?
yeah, like that's what like saying it's a feeling is so funny to me, and it's just like
Made me feel broke.
I don't know. I beat the Anna Paul situation into the ground.
Well, now it's Michaela versus Karina.
Karina got involved, and now people are just like speculating Drake being a factor.
Sometimes things move too fast for me to even understand what the fuck is going on.
I think the internet is also so quick. I don't think I actually want to say what I'm going to say.
Don't say it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's always good to just not say
No
what
need.
you want to say. I was going to say sometimes everyone can have a truth, right? But
Yeah, like what? Yeah, you're right.
like everyone
Both
can
people or everyone in their own world believes that they are correct.
yeah, and just like maybe everyone has small truths in what they're saying, but it's clear that Michaela is just like right. So it's like, shut up, Tana. I just think Anna needs to do a little more Like, I just want, like, can she just give us the real tea one time? Like, break the character.
Yeah, I want her to one time use that voice to tell us, like, something horrible.
Like, even just voice over your day. Go get your nails done and just spill it, you know? Like, it can still be voiceover style, but just say something. I don't know. I want to talk about, I want to react to Ash Trevino talking about us, because I guess she did. But then I also don't want to be a part of this problem that I keep saying. Maybe we'll do it on the Patreon.
Think it could, I mean, it's up to you, but
It's up to you.
I was really excited to show it to you.
It's up to you.
It's like kind of anticlimactic. Do you want to see it? I want to react to a lot of things on the Patreon.
Yeah, maybe we just have a reaction episode, because you saw her in the airport, and I have to hear about that first and foremost.
I saw Ash Trevino at the airport, and it was literally like, you know, one of those things where it's like, you literally can't believe your eyes. Like, I felt like, you know, when Dave Portnoy saw that guy with no arms outside the pizza
How was he
shop?
pulling that?
How is he pulling that? That's how I felt seeing Ash Trevino in the airport.
So just walk me. I really need story time level. Like, walk me through every second.
It was a cold winter night. BB and I had just shown up to the airport. We were flying to Chicago for our club appearance. Okay, we're rushing through the airport because, of course, we are not on time for our flight. And as I'm rushing, I see a mob of people coming at me, except one person is smaller than the rest. Okay, and by smaller, I mean shorter.
Would you say they were giving stocky?
She was giving something.
I don't even know what stocky actually really means, other than the man who's outside of my house right now with flowers.
Anyway, I saw her shuffling across the little ground. No security guard in sight. That's important to note, because you know how she goes on her rampage about how she can't travel anywhere without a security guard because people approach her too often. But who am I really talking shit about? Because I got ready to approach her. In fact, I chased her down the airport. But I was like, I really had it coming to, like, I was sprinting. Honestly, I'll insert a photo. You can see how fast my little legs are going behind Ash Trevino. And then I came to, and I was like, first of all, you've been talking shit about her online. Probably not a good idea to approach her, because honestly, I really mean it. She looks like she can get you at the knees. She look like, you know what I mean? Like, she just looks like fucking, like, scary. And having nothing to do with her actual physical appearance, but more so just her energy.
Mean mugging, fake Louis bag on and all.
Yes. And then also I was just like, what am I going to do with, like, what am I going to do? Ask her for a photo? Like, I don't want a photo with her. I want to spit on her.
100%. That's wild. It feels like we spoke that into existence, because it was like right after we very first podcasted about her.
It was really, I'm not going to lie, it was exciting. And like, not to ever, like, Ash Trevino sucks, but it was very much like, oh my God, I can't believe this. She doesn't live here. She feels like a fictional character.
I 100% agree. She's giving, like, what is it, Huckleberry Finn? Like, she's not real behind that phone. Like, I just can't even just the rest of her body. Like, when I first saw it at the Bop House, it's to see her in the wild, I would be like jarred for sure.
I saw a TikTok of her today talking about how she's not friends with her two friends anymore because she could not believe that they didn't take the fall for her when she, like, robbed a place and stole a bag. And she went to her friends and she was like, will you please just, like, take the blame for me? I'm in a CPS battle right now. And they were like, no, sorry, we're in a custody battle.
Why are you stealing a purse while you're... See, I was going to immediately, like, be like, okay, me in 2016, right? Me in 2015. But then it's like the CPS battle brought me back to earth.
Yeah. Oh, I really want to tell you what she says about you.
I think I'm going to crash out, and I'm really trying to not...
We'll save it.
I'm trying not to just give her any more. Like, even this, it's like I'm fighting, because it's obviously like, this is what we do, this is what we talk about. But it's just like Ash Trevino for prison. Ash Trevino for...
Solitary confinement.
Yes. I'm so excited to see the Fray in concert later this year, which is why I want to give the sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. So many artists are going on tour, and you can get tickets to Kendrick Lamar and SZA, The Weeknd, Beyonce, Morgan Wallen, and more. I love using SeatGeek because I love attending live events like Billie Eilish and other fun concerts. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And you know I came through for you guys. You can use code CANCELED2025 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CANCELED2025. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring today's episode of the Canceled Podcast. I'm on a diet, okay?
No.
And It's because I have two very naked things potentially coming up. One for sure, one that I don't know, like truly naked. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like nothing crazy, no like crazy restriction. I'm just like really like.
Can I know what they are?
Yes. Well, I can't put one of them in the thing. You already know one of them. And then the other one is and I just.
Which one's for sure?
For sure.
That's so fabulous.
You'll know when the other thing is for sure, but it's. Both of them are very soon, and I'm just like, I want to look my best for this, obviously. And you know me with the Burger Kings fabulous. And the Big Macs and we were even just talking about this in the past episode where I'm just like, I want to look my absolute best, and I'm not going to shortcut it with Mongeau or Ozempic because I think it's bad. So I'm really, bad for me. I stopped it after that, and now I'm like really trying to eat healthy. And the other day, I'm on the way to the airport for Makoa's birthday trip. Speaking of seeing people in the airport, and I decide in the final minutes because we're flying out of JSX, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna Uber Eats some Starbucks food. And even in my head, I'm like, this shit is 3D printed. Wait till you get there.
It's so good.
Have some kale, like you're being healthy. You don't need to do this. And I ordered that big old breakfast sandwich against everything I am trying to, follow right now. Mm-hmm. And I get to the airport and I check in, and the very first person I see in line with me at JSX is Yolanda Hadid. Okay.
Oh, she said, put it down, fatty.
Yolanda Hadid. I canceled my Uber Eats order. Somebody else got that sandwich that day. Aww. It was crazy. It's funny too, because she was just like sitting in the corner of the airport. And I didn't notice her. Obviously, Ari did. Ari, like, he could smell Yolanda Hadid like a drug dog, okay? And he sees her. And then I can tell she's kind of, because we're like a group of like 20 people. Like, it's all of Makoa's friends and my friends. So it's like a sight to be seen, and just the crossover, the Mario Selman ex, like, straight Hawaii surfer boys. And I could just tell she was kind of like casing everybody, and then like Mario walks in, fur coat so tiny, and like she smiles, and I was like, no shit, like
she was probably giddy.
Yeah, and that just like made Mario's day. It was so wild. I didn't eat the breakfast sandwich, but I forget where I was going with that.
Dieting is wrong.
Well, no crash diet. No, just like I'm eating a healthy diet. You shouldn't
call it a diet. You're adopting a lifestyle change.
You're actually 100% right. That's literally all it is. And it's like, even last night, I was sitting there and I'm like, as soon as this is over, I can't wait to have bulldog carbonara. And it's like, you're changing your lifestyle.
You can have bulldog carbonara.
Have you ever looked up the stats?
Yes, I did, because for a second there I kept getting stomach ulcers.
Yeah, it's nutty, and it's just like, that is the thing. I'm just trying to.
But I was so fabulous when I was.
Diet is the wrong word. I'm just trying to enact a healthier lifestyle with healthier eating habits, and it's so hard. Today I had to break it for a business venture.
Honestly, so inspirational. Pickles aren't.
Pickles are healthy. I'm doing
Salty.
a pickle with high in sodium, but pickles themselves aren't bad. I'm doing a pickle collab with Kaylin, and they are like my favorite company on planet Earth, and I'm so excited.
So exciting. I'm so happy for you.
And it's been years in the making. I've been like, me and the owner have just been friends for so long and trying to figure out when it can work and what will work. But one of the things we're doing is at the Grove having pickle boats in the farmer's market. And so today I had to go try all of the pickle boat options. And obviously I created these with my own mind. And there I am eating chamoy, tahine, gushers, and taki on one, hot chili, sour cream, Frito on another, hot Cheetos, queso on another. They're insane, but
That's so
I'm bubbling the house, especially because I've been eating kale all week. My body was like, wait, no.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah, 100%. I am so excited though.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to try them.
It's so funny that you and I are both like working on things right now that are just so us. Like, you have the cutest clothes for Coachella coming. Can we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, by the time this comes out.
How excited. They're so.
I'm so
they're
excited.
Perfect. I can't wait to wear them.
I'm so excited for festival season 2. Me and Tana literally planned our tour dates around it. Or yeah. I did anyway.
No, 100%. We were like, we cannot be touring during Coachella. We have to go. But just like how funny, like cute Coachella clothes, big pickle chili on top.
Well,
with gushers.
If you say it in that tone of voice.
That's true.
I would love a pickle collab.
We're on brand. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I'm going to be wearing your collab, and you're going to be eating my pickles. And
I'm trying to think of what do I even love as much as you love pickles? Cats. I would need a cat
ramen
collab.
Bulldog.
That's true.
What do you make Miles make you? What's it called?
bulgogi. Oh my God. I'm not kidding. I'm going to have like an actual stroke. The amount of red meat that I eat is like so dangerous. Like everyone's calling me beefy Brooke. Like it's always kind of been a joke because at that time I ordered beefy 5-layer nachos.
You do love you some beef. Like even if I just say the word beef, like, oh, I'm in a beef with someone, you'll literally to yourself go,
okay, relax. I love beef. It's my favorite food. Beef in all of its states. Like I'm always having like little fiesta taco bowls.
No,
I would love to just have ground beef and marinara sauce every night for dinner.
You are that USDA cow, but just way cuter.
But right now I'm in beef bulgogi.
Wait, I'm sorry. We have to stop. I'm going to order something and back at square one. I've already had enough talkies for a small beef.
Bring me beef on tour.
That's insane. Bring me nothing. Bring me nothing but your love and your adoration. My house is full.
I love beef.
Speaking of beef, who's beefing? Bethany Frankel and Lashify. Have you been seeing this?
No.
Well, I don't know all the details. I just love Bethany Frankel and I want to talk about her because I just love her.
I love her too. She's so inspirational and rich.
And I'm going to like probably cut corners on this. Like I really don't know every single detail, but I guess some company sent her lashes and she was talking about them. I don't know if she was talking about the competitor or the actual lash or talking about the lash and then talking about how it's similar to a competitor. I don't know what it is. But the CEO of Lashify, who is very much this like Donatella Versace woman, threatens the shit out of Bethany Frankel via DM.
Threaten Bethany Frankel.
And Bethany Frankel is cooking this woman online. And then the woman's on live getting drunk, like trying to apologize. And it's like, I feel like that has got to be business basics 101. Like, don't stand in the kitchen if you can't take the fire. Like,
the last person you come for, I think, is like somebody like Bethany Frankel, who is just so rambunctious and like she just is not afraid to say what she thinks.
Also, just threatening she threatened legal action against Bethany Frankel. If my options were like threaten legal action against Bethany Frankel or jump off this balcony, like I'm
jumping
soaring. Flying. She is the legal battle. Like,
yeah, she's too smart. She knows like every in and out, especially because she's just such a smart like businesswoman. I guarantee at least 1,000 people have tried to threaten her with legal action in the past.
And it's like she created the Bethany clause, like on reality television, like just like before Bethany Frankel. Most reality television networks like Bravo and E! And whatever, whenever they would have people on their shows, they would say, you're signing with us. And like, if you ever come out with a product or a brand, you have to give us X% of your product or your brand. And she said, fuck no, like I'll walk. And that created the Bethany clause, like that, like.
I love that. She's so smart with all her skinny girl everything.
Yeah, and then exactly, skinny girl ended up being huge, and she's like, thank fucking God I didn't do that. Like, imagine just being the CEO of Lashify and waking up and opening your computer. Like, that is so stupid.
Oh, that's your bad.
People are telling me I'm gonna get sued by Ash Trevino if I keep yapping. But I feel like Bethany in that situation.
With what capital?
She's Lashify, and I'm Bethany. Honestly, I'm not scared.
She's so funny. Wait, speaking of reality television, I need to talk to you about something. I thought for a second that you had turned down being on Traitors, but you clarified that it was
House of Villain.
House of Villain.
And I honestly regret that.
More than anything on this planet. Okay, actually second. You are the person I want to see on Traitors second most out of any person in this entire planet, and first is me. I want us to go on Honestly together.
Let's do it.
I don't think they would allow it because it's kind of a conflict of interest, but it's so fascinating. I know you just started it.
I just started it and I fell asleep. So I really don't know. And I've been meaning to watch it. I just like, I didn't know it was kind of challenging and like survivory. Like I thought Mojo wouldn't like it. So I was putting it off. So do tell.
No, it's just so, well, obviously I love the challenge. I love Survivor. I love Big Brother. So I just like, honestly, I was running out of shows to watch because I've flown through all those seasons. And I saw that Traitors was out and I saw that Gabby was on it. Gabby Windy, who's like a good friend of mine, and I just like am obsessed with her. And she's so funny. I saw her, she was on The Bachelor and then she was The Bachelorette.
Oh shit.
And she's just like so and hilarious.
What is the objective? Like I just know it's like Tom Sandoval fighting for his life, which is crazy.
Essentially like a murder mystery, except so you start out with like 23 people. I'm not sure if it's 23 or 24.
It's giving whodunit?
Yeah, you all sit at a round table and they go around and they tap you on the shoulder, and if they tap you on the shoulder, you're a traitor. And everybody else is a faithful. And if you're a faithful, you're a faithful.
Oh, I heard that last night and I was like, Tom Sandoval has never been faithful.
But yeah, right. But everybody is supposed to pretend they're a faithful, and like you're trying to convince everybody that you're faithful, and most people are. But then if you're a traitor, like you have to like try to get other people to point fingers at each other, and it's
Kinda
a lot
like
of
the
lying
mole,
and deception,
even.
and it's so exciting and fascinating and fabulous. But everybody who comes in, not everybody, but most people are from like other shows. They have people from The Challenge, they have people from Bravo,
Survivor, yeah.
Housewives, like, and it's
Wow.
so good.
I actually would love that. I did see them like doing a kayak for a second, and then I was like, "Ooh, this might
There
not
are
be
some
for me,"
physical
but-
challenges, but most people are not like physically able or like super
I'm a good
athletic.
yeller too. Like I could just be like, I'll be the yeller.
You could be a yeller,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Gabby's like really blowing up though from it, and I'm loving because people just like she's so funny.
We should have her on.
I
want to
have her on more than anything on
Let's
the
do
planet.
it.
She's just like she's naturally everything that comes to her mind. You're like, how did you think of
I
that?
do. First, Trisha, now you. Everyone's like, you need to watch Traitors tonight. I will lock in. I really will because I want to see it. And I love Chriselle. I always have. I've been her biggest fan. You know, I shit myself in front of her, and that was the worst moment
She
of my
doesn't
life.
remember that. Did I tell you?
Oh my God, he's literally real. He has
Did
risen.
I tell you I ran into her? So I ran into her at the Gladiator premiere, and she called me over. We were talking to each other, and I was like, you know, it's so funny. I just got off tour, and we had a whole bit about you in our show.
Yeah.
And she goes, what? Like, what do you mean? She goes, I go, yeah, like Tana has like a whole story time about how like she was shitting herself and like you were in the bathroom and like she was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed because
8
like,
layers of Skims on, waist trainer out, ass shapewear
and
out,
she
nipple.
just looked at me like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, it didn't seem like it was like a pivotal moment for her. It was just one of those ones for me where it was like, oh my God, I have to crawl in a hole.
It's one of those like having like a celebrity interaction where like you're like, oh my God, they're gonna think about this forever. And
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
At all. No, but like my tits were out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it really
like for you, you felt
it
broke.
exposed and just all of the things. It was so bad. And oh my God, that's another reason why I'm eating healthier, just because the pooping. I was gonna tell you about some pooping, but I
No
won't.
pooping.
No pooping here. That's our 2025 goal. Speaking of poo poo, no bad. Did you see Blake Lively on SNL? I'm sorry, I've had a long day and I'm really tired. Like I'm in a weird mood.
That transition was gold. I did see Blake Lively on SNL, and well, really it was Ryan Reynolds on SNL, and Blake Lively just going.
I feel like society is almost just transitioning into being smarter than traditional PR. Do you know what I mean? Like that would have like gotten everyone 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And like now it's just like, stop. Like, why are you
so
doing
hard because
that?
we have access to everything, so it's too easy to form like a true opinion. I don't know, but I saw a lot of people saying like, oh my God, like you can tell Blake had no idea that was gonna happen, and I'm like, you guys, SNL is so planned.
And like,
She
you
knew
know,
that
she
was
was
happening.
like, they were begging the PR teams to let that happen.
Yeah, they were probably like, this is gonna be a hit.
It's so wild how like once people make it to a certain caliber of traditional media in Hollywood,
They
that like
just transcend like.
yeah, like it doesn't matter. Like they can just come on SNL. Like it, you
Yeah,
know
like
what I mean?
SNL's just like, okay, slay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I guess Justin Baldoni's never going to be a guest on SNL.
Yeah, which is just wild. Like just like so wild. I'm
Did you
excited
watch-
to see how that pans out.
Did you watch the 50th anniversary? The SNL?
I watched a lot of clips of it.
Me too. I haven't seen the full thing, but I'm so excited to.
I know I really, really want to. It was just amazing. You know what else I loved last night so much? Or maybe not last night. Could have been last week. I don't fucking
Timothy Chalamet's speech.
know. Yes.
God, I'm so good.
You honestly ate down with that. Long Island mediums. We're Long Island smalls.
Extra smalls.
So stupid.
I'm going to get cooked. Pick me, bitch.
I think people just never do that. And I'm really just day by day becoming the biggest Timothy Chalamet stan absolutely ever. And it's like, I'm not fully there yet. I need to see everything he's done. Like but I'm in that amazing stage where you're like becoming a super fan of someone. And A Complete Unknown did that for me. Like it was just, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Too. It was so good. And
It
like,
takes one thing though to make you just like,
it's exactly that. And then finding out he just dedicated 5 years of his life to the role. I think he's so like elusive, like just like his relationship with Kylie, how you don't know everything. Whereas with anyone else you would. Like, I just love him. And then that speech, I think it's so cool. I mean, everyone has said this. I don't want to have the same take as like everyone on TikTok, but it has become like corny to say like I worked so fucking hard for this and I want to be great. And
it is. Everyone wants to seem like the most humble person, and I can't believe this is happening to me. I don't deserve it. I love to see someone get up there and be like, it's about time, jeez.
It was just so cool. Even just like his interest in Viola Davis, like just say that is so like, it just like, I don't know. It just like all made me so happy. And like, I want him to win the Oscar so bad for it. Like, to me, it was an Oscar winning performance.
It's so crazy how many, I've seen so many, or like the stats on how many awards he's been nominated for versus how many he's won. And that like blows me away. You would think he'd have like so many accolades.
And that's his whole bit, like on SNL, right? That he just like gets nominated and nominated. And I just feel like it's going to be his year. And like, I want it so bad. He just like, there's something about him. I love people like that. Like even obviously, you know, my Pete era, I don't want to go to.
He took his tattoos off.
I know. I was going to say like loving the person that just feels like they're your friend, like the guy next door, like getting the success. But yeah. I mean, we all knew he was going to do it, or maybe just me because I'm so creepy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I miss them. I'm always going to prefer
I'll let him do whatever makes him happy.
The fucking, what's it called? Stick and poke, the people's names, all of it. I love when people, it's crazy. Yeah.
I do love him both ways.
It's crazy that technology is just like that good, that they're actually like fucking gone like that.
I just like can't believe it doesn't scar. I guess it just doesn't really make sense to me. But like
the big black keyhole though, like I can't see why he was like, maybe I don't want this anymore.
Well, you have to wonder what he covered that, like what that was covering up.
Too. How painful. Imagine. I like keep going in to get my little young AF on my ass gone, and it's like
so hot.
It's so wild how removing something hurts so much more than like removing tattoos hurts so much more than getting it. I removed some filler yesterday and I was like, oh my God.
The most painful thing you could possibly do.
Because they're injecting like an acid essentially that
burns, melts it.
That melts away at the filler, and it was the craziest. It's crazy. I was just sitting there and it was like, I was explaining to Makoa, like, this is 9 years of cheek filler that has now migrated probably to my knees. Mm-hmm. And I'm, you know, reworking it and getting it all gone and shit. And it was so fucking painful. But I'm excited. That was my first ever. I've never removed anything.
Really?
Like, I've never dissolved filler. I've never.
That actually surprises me because sometimes I see, like, videos of us and, like, I'm like, wow.
No, my lips were
filled.
like.
But I don't ever look at you and think you're like overfilled at all.
I'm in Los Angeles and my lips were in San Francisco.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what
for
we were
a minute
on
of my life
there.
And then I never dissolved them. So it's like, is that in my earlobe now? You know,
maybe.
Like where did it go?
But you don't have like migration either. My lips, when I dissolved them, it felt like somebody took my lips, stuck them on a frying pan, held me there for a minute, and then took me away.
That's 100. And she put the cannula here, and
at
then
least
went
she did
up
cannula.
to here.
You know, they did no cannula for me. They just did individual injections for every single one. I was like, do you want me to die?
I wonder if that's because mine was face, not lip. I wonder if
maybe
it's just
that's
different. I don't know. It was crazy though. And I thought it was going to be cheap for some reason. And then $1,200 later, I regret my 9 years of filler.
Have you ever gone in for something? I saw someone just make a TikTok about this, but like as a collab, and they like don't like specify the details, and you like think you're getting something and then you end up still having to pay a lot of money.
Definitely. I don't know like when and where, but like for sure.
Oh, I just saw it happen to somebody and I'm like, that's happened to me a few times. And then you're just like, I'm just too embarrassed to say anything. So I'll just like.
That's like, did you see like all the influencers up in arms when like they found out, because it changed, the laws changed, like how they had to pay taxes on gifted clothes.
Yeah.
And like, I just can't even imagine how many influencers were probably like getting gifted all this Revolve shit, and then they had to pay like $10,000 in taxes on it at the end of the year. And it's like,
that happened to me.
You know what else? They just law-wise, money-wise, influencer-wise, it's just like came to my mind.
The kids.
I am so fucking happy, but also so alarmed. They just, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, do your research. It's a canceled podcast. Sorry in advance. Changed the law in California to where families whose children are the primary entertainer in their content, so like children's content, family content, they now have to put that money into a trust for the child. And you're seeing all of these family vloggers move out of California. You want to put your kid to Dance Monkey work so bad that you're going to move out of California?
Say her name.
What's her name?
Brittany Xavier.
She did that.
Yeah. And like she says she didn't, but then she's like, yeah, and my oldest daughter is staying behind because she doesn't want to move for her senior year, but like we just have to get out of here. And then she says because she had toxic mold in her house. Okay, she was like, I have to move. I have toxic mold.
And
okay?
not just down the street when your kid's still in school.
No, but listen, this is the funniest part. She goes, I have toxic mold. I have to move. It has nothing to do with the child laws. And then someone goes, what are you going to do with your house? You just got it. And she goes, I'm selling it to somebody who lost their house in the fires. I go, with toxic mold? Have they not been through enough?
Oh my God. I think my new bit really is just like actively really vocalizing how much I fucking hate these awful parents online.
Yeah.
Like obviously TikTok has given us a whole new realm of seeing so much more. And so many people are getting caught now, like the Ruby Franks of the world. And it's great.
There's a documentary coming out about it.
And I can't wait to see it. I mean, it's just like, it's wild. Moving out of California for that, I just can't imagine how you would feel if your child just wanted to watch Paw Patrol and hang out with their friends all day. And you're like, hold on, it's time for the boo basket trend. And like, they're probably crying now and again because children are emotional. You're forcing them to do it anyways. We saw the moms, you know, the Ruby Franks and the ones, and so many other moms that are like, okay, cry for the thumbnail. Like, you're fucking putting your kid to Shirley Temple work. You're going to move out of California. Why would you want them to have that money? And it's always been a thing. You know what I mean? The Jeanette McCurdy's mom of the world. I've seen it with a lot of like people I know who were like Disney stars and shit. But it's like never not mind blowing.
It's crazy. It's horrible. But I kind of love it because I'm just weird about people posting their kids anyway. Ever since that little girl, I forget her name, but she was the really cute one. And
I think it's funny. I was talking about this with Ari like yesterday, but it's like I see Trisha and I'm like, that's so amazing. Like, post your kids.
But that's not the center of her content.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, her kids are an accessory to her content.
100%. That's the only way it's okay to me. I understand documenting your life, but it's like, I just get concerned when the kids are in the content every single day because kids don't want to do that every single day. Yes, there are some, like the little girl who does her interviews and stuff, but you know, it's like, I don't know. I just don't love it. I don't love it. And I just, as I get older and older too, I'm just like, how, like, that's a kid, you know?
I know, it's hard.
I came up, but it gave me, this is actually so sad. I don't know if I need to like do all this on Cancelled because I need to make a YouTube video about it anyways.
What is it?
Well, so the other day, for some reason, I decided one night, Mojo had fallen asleep. He's been going to bed so early. It's the bane of my existence because then I just sit there and I like don't know what to do with my hands for hours. And I was going through my camera roll and I like very much, and I've always told you this, like I pretend every version of me except for this current one does not exist. Like, you even know reacting to my music was so hard for me. Like, I've never watched The Toothbrush. I've never seen my MTV show. And I take that as far as like, I don't even go through my camera roll. Like, I never have. And now obviously I've been trying to kind of exposure therapy myself into my own life. Like, just like for the book, just to remember things and whatever. And I was going through my camera roll I was like 17, so it was me dating Summer Hollingsworth, and I was watching all these vlog clips, and even just seeing that was so wild to me, like how much I wanted him to like love me and be nice. And obviously, you know, I struggled with that for like many years after dating men who literally hated me. I was going through that, and then just me and Jordan, like seeing me at like 16, and Jordan Morone is my best friend, and he looked so young. It was all just like so interesting to me. And then I come across these vlog clips of me going home to my grandma's house in Texas. And I was like 17 and I don't remember this at all. And you know, I've talked about it on H3, how I say I have no baby photos. And it's like the worst part about me going no contact because it's like just so sad. I'm like, I want baby photos. And I found these like 30-minute vlog clips of me going through all these photos of me as a baby.
Wait, yay!
And like, how exciting is that? It was like awesome, but it was like, it was just so sad because I was like finding all these photos of my mom on like her wedding day, and like I'd never seen a photo of my dad looking like a normal human and like young. Mm-hmm. And like he just looked like such a regular guy, like on the street, like a normal, like I don't want to say handsome because it's weird, but like
you can say handsome.
And it was like them in Cabo when they were like probably like 30, and they were just like smiling, and he looked so normal, and I was like, oh my God, how sad. Like, she was just a girl. And it just like put me down this whole like super sad rabbit hole. But I found some baby photos.
Well, that's good. I've had the same, like a similar issue where I haven't seen really much of anything either. But it is like when you do see something, it's so like I get emotional about it anyway. Like the last episode when I talked about my younger self thing, which by the way I did do my homework, but like what the fuck? It just like for some reason makes me really sad to even look back on stuff like that because I'm like so sensitive about like having been younger and stuff and like
Same. So much same. And even just in the clips, my mom was like in the background talking to me and like being so nice. And like we were like laughing. And then seeing these photos of her on her wedding day and just thinking like, damn, she just wanted to get it right too. And then and that's a hard thing with no contact too. I'm sure you know. It's like you remember or like for me at least, I don't really remember them. But like I see a video of it, like these good memories. And it's like, oh, that sucks that like there were good moments.
Yeah, you know, it's just like like any toxic relationship. Of course, you're gonna remember like so much of the good,
too.
and it's so sad. But it's also like I don't know. I see a lot of people talk about how like it's your parents' first time living too. Like you have to think about that. But then, you know, the rebuttal to that is like, okay, well, they also had, you know, however many years on us, like, and all this time to learn what to do and what not to do, and they chose not to do it. So,
and I think I've sat so heavily with that I almost block out the good. Like, I don't really remember the good moments. Like, the bad just overshadows it so much. So then, like, seeing, you know what I mean? Just photos of me, like there was like this photo of us on Christmas morning and she had on like sunglasses and a robe. And I was like, that's so something I would do now. Like if I had a kid, it'd be early and I would do that. And it's just like, I can't even, I'll cry. But like, it just made me so sad. And then I saw this TikTok too, triple whammy after where I opened up and it was like, if you could go with a time machine and tell your mom one thing, what would you do? And I realized I would tell her not to have me. And it made me, not because of anything to do with me. Like for her, like those two things can still exist. Like I appreciate my life, but like all she wanted was a kid and she couldn't get it right. And like the mental health. And like, I feel like that's why she like stayed with my dad and shit, you know, It just made me so sad. I was like, how can those two things be true? You know, that like I needed a mom and like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously I want to be here and I love my life, but if I could tell her one thing, it would be like, girl, run, you know?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know. I'm happy you're here.
But and I'm happy I'm here. I don't mean that. It's like a separate thing.
No,
you know?
I know what you're saying. Like just like for her sake, and I feel like like maybe her life would have turned out like completely differently. She would have probably, you know, not been in that relationship or whatever. But
yeah, or like stayed as hard. I don't even know. It's just wild to think like.
I always think about it. Like I feel like you already know how much like guilt I have around that. But I think about like because I have so many mental problems. When I think about my mom's mental problems, I'm like I can't imagine having also had like. Being in that situation or like how I feel like the prison in my brain, but then also having 3 kids and no money, you know? So I'm like, God, like
awful
she really like, what was she to do? Like, of course she was going to do a bad job, but like,
yeah. And it's so true. And I've accepted that too. I think it's crazy too. My parents were born in 1953 and 1959.
So crazy.
So their generation was also so anti-mental health, you know?
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
old-fashioned.
Especially my dad, like going to the war and then coming back and like all of that, like just like
it's so interesting because my grandpa and your dad were in the same war.
It's so wild.
Vietnam. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if they knew each other. Probably not.
I wonder, but it's just like, and then I'm imagining being with a man who's so anti-mental health, and you're like isolated and just all the things. I don't know. It's just like so wild. She texted me the other day too, and I was just like, oh, it's so, like I just battle so hard with like. How differently would I feel if she were to die? You know? How different, like, would I wish I said or did anything else? And I always just come to the conclusion of, like, no, you know, and that there's nothing more or less I could do. And it would just make me even sadder. But it's like...
For right now, too, and, like, things change day to day. If you never want to talk to her again, that could be true. But that also, like, you could, in a year, be like, you know what? I am ready to...
And it's not even, like, holding anger to the point that I don't want to talk to her. It's just, like...
Choosing peace, I feel.
You never knew me, and you don't know me, and it's... You know what I mean? And how much of it would be for you, and... I don't even know. Just, like...
No, I know what you mean. It's frustrating, too, to feel like, at least in my instance, like, my... family feels very entitled to like know things about me and have contact with me and stuff, and I get frustrated because I'm like, for what? Like, what did you do to deserve any of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just like wishing, obviously, I feel like I'm just always talking about the pros of no contact. And it's like, I'm so grateful for it. It changed my life. But it is undeniable that there's forever like a hole and a void in my heart. And like, it's sad, you know? And it's like, even just like I got this crazy opportunity, the one I'm dieting for. And even just like on our last night of tour, like I went back to my hotel room and I cried because it was like, I fucking wish I had, you know, a mom and a dad who were
to, like,
awesome.
share it with, yeah.
Yeah, like even just when crazy things happen, it's just like so wild. And I don't feel like I vocalize the roller coaster of what no contact is enough. I'm always just like, it's the best thing that ever happened. And it is, but it's also like, damn.
No, it's hard. You inspired me with it, obviously, because I was so opposed to it for so long because I have so much guilt around it.
Me too.
And I did it and I was successful in it for a long time, but I have recently relapsed.
No, and it's like because of the hope. You relapse because you have hope, you know? And I think my hope just got shut down so many times that I had to give up. But then even now, it's like you'll have that like random glimpse of the hope. And even watching myself go through the baby photos and like vlog it, like 17-year-old me, that was the difference with like, there were so many differences in our personalities, right? And the things that we were saying. But one of the things that I think was just so prevalent was you could hear the hope I had in my voice. Like in the hope I had that it would like all work out in a way that I thought it would. It did all work out, but I didn't ever think they would just be out of my life, you know? And it's like.
You hadn't quite like given up on it yet.
Yeah. And it's just like I had to, you know, but.
Yeah. So I will say like when you do invite like anyone back in like that, you're just like setting yourself up. And at least, I mean, for me, you would set yourself up for disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Cause it's like, imagine you go through all of that. You make this like really big and bold decision to like finally like reach out an olive branch. And then it's like the same thing. And that's what I deal with all the time. I'm like, oh my God, like what did I do?
I think it would be like opening a huge can of worms of like sadness, you know? Cause even if it's not like, even if it's good, I think it would still be sad to be like, you're a stranger. And like, you know what I mean? Just like, and I always was like her parent almost. Like I had to, you know, insert myself in that role at a very young age. I was not only my own parent, but that's how it felt with her. So it's like, I'm assuming it would still feel the same way if she's still in a similar situation. It's just like.
It's interesting to feel like you don't know your parent hardly at all. But like since they like, you know, brought you into the world and like gave birth to you, they feel so like at least my parents feel like they are so my parents and they know everything about me and stuff. And I like, I'm like literally who
that was like,
where do you get off? Like,
exactly. That was why I went no contact, because I was just like, you don't know me and you never have and you never will, you know what I mean? And it's like, but then it's just so sad too, because it's like my mom was just such a weird case, I guess, because it was like she wanted a kid super bad. They tried for kids. She had 6 miscarriages, a bunch of shit went down. I'll talk about it in my book, but I was their 7th try. And it was like,
wow.
That's all she wanted was like a baby girl, and then just couldn't. So it's so sad to me, because it's like, I know that's still what you want, but you couldn't so hard that you like heavily fucked me up, you know? Ugh. I don't know. It's just sad. So obviously that's where the entitlement comes from, because it's like, you wanted me so bad, but then it's like, the second I popped out.
Yeah, what if like Murphy just wanted to go outside one day and never talk to me again? I'd show up at her poker tournament.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, it is just so sad. But it's like,
but I get you, and I don't think you always tell me, but I don't think you should feel guilty at all about that.
I just feel sad for her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and two things can be true at the same time.
Exactly.
I mean, you told me that. Literally exactly that. Like you can feel bad for her and have empathy and like sympathy for her situation and what she went through, because obviously she wanted a baby so bad. And she wanted that life, and she couldn't get out of the relationship that she was in and stuff. Like that can be true, but you also don't have to subject yourself.
Yeah, and I think accountability was the biggest thing with me and with them. I don't think they ever took it. And obviously that's narcissism, you know what I mean? But you know, I think everything would be different if they were able, and I'm aware that they're sick and they can't possess it. So it's not like I'm yearning for that or angry that they don't.
Yeah, like you've accepted it's not coming.
Yes, but that's, it's just like there's no accountability. And even now it's like, I guess there always will be a part of me that's like, I appreciate your apology and I do forgive you, but, or whatever. But like, you know,
Yeah, you
It's
don't
just
want to
like,
have bad blood. It's not like
you just can't come back and say, sorry, I fucking fucked you up and fucked with you and was awful to you. Like, you know, and just like royally.
like, yeah, you got to live with it forever.
Because I do. And it's not like that I'm punishing. It's just like, unfortunately, there was never really a space for them in my life. Unfortunately, I don't know. And I guess it's like, my biggest takeaway was like, the other night I kind of was like talking myself off a ledge because I really did just like sob myself to sleep and McCall was sleeping. And I was just like, my biggest takeaway, I guess, now is that it's great that this generation is so much more vocal about how people shouldn't have kids and people, because even just her generation was very much like the woman stays home and has the kids and has to and whatever. Like, I'm happy that people can think twice, you know, and even that this has evoked all of that in me to like think about who I'm going to be as a parent, not just that I need a kid.
Yeah, and who you have a kid with too is so important. Chelsea Handler had a funny bit about it where she was literally like, like, I'm not going to have a kid because I would be a bad parent.
Yeah. And she's hilarious about it. If I watch too much Chelsea Handler talking about not wanting a kid, I'll like swing that way. Because it like she eats no notes. Like she eats no notes.
I look at lives like her because I've always wanted kids. I've never pictured my life without kids. I want kids so badly. But all the people who I look up to the most in life do not have kids. So that's kind of like a weird, or like the Whitneys of the world. Like Whitney.
You just read my mind.
Yeah, see, she's inspirational to me, but it's like she got all that out of the way, and like I don't know if I want to be, like I don't know if I want to wait that long, but it's like, am I like throwing a wrench in all my plans if I were to have a kid soon?
I'm realizing that I'm going to be a little bit of an older parent now.
I loved having, like, you had older parents. I had my grandparents, but I loved that they were older, and I guess I didn't care either way. I just loved them so much, so it didn't matter that they were older.
But then even just like, with Amari's family taking me in, Deborah and Iraj are so much younger. She had Amari when she was
young, like a teenager, right?
Or like 20 or something. Oh. She's young now, and it's so cool to me that like, you know what I mean? That
but we're already past that.
That she like gets it. Yeah, I guess that's true. That is really fucking true. It's just like, oh my God, I want to be the parent who gets it. Because my parents just obviously did not fucking get it at all. And like,
yeah, but you could still be a fun, cool parent. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess that's just about caring. Like, not really age. So funny because we'll really have a conversation like that. And then it's like, okay, back to Alabama Barker and Bad Baby. But honestly, they just need a hug from their mom, you know? So shit. It all ties in. I took Makoa on a birthday trip.
Yay!
And it was cute. It was really cute. Honestly, it was so funny. Just like, we've never done a trip. Like, imagine our Turks and Caicos trip, but then like 8 normal straight men are also there. And it was just like the crossovers.
Like, I wish.
Yeah, honestly. But like, the crossovers were just so crazy. Like seeing Mario Selman ex like Tanner, you know, like McCall was like, it just like was so funny. When he told me he wanted, because it came about because like I bring Makoa everywhere with me, and like sometimes there are those moments where like we're all blasting Pink Pony Club and people are spilling shit and someone has a feather boa on and 9 TikToks are being made, and I just pan to Makoa, you know, chilling on the couch, and I'm like, like, sorry, you know what I mean? And I was like, and he's so the type where he wants nothing for his birthday. Even like convincing him to let me do this was like a whole thing. Like, he doesn't ever want me to spend $1 or like do anything, but I really like out of my heart wanted to.
Of course.
Yeah, I was like, where do you want to go? And he's like, I want to go to the snow. And just like a part of me died because I really
like, are you sure?
No, and I was pitching everywhere else too. I was like, what about Cabo? And like he was like, well, I mean, yeah, we never go to the snow. Let's go to the snow, babe. Let's make snow angels. Like, oh my God. And I'm like, obviously this is what you want for your birthday, so we're gonna do it. But like a part of me truly died. I fucking hate the snow. Why do people like the snow?
I don't know. It's cold, it's wet, and everybody gets hurt.
And like 17 layers.
It's beautiful from the window.
How do I have swamp ass from my 8 layers of thermals, but then my fingers are blue?
You hit the nail on the head with that one. The worst part about being in the cold is the second you walk in somewhere and you go from being frigid to all of a sudden just a wave of heat because you had literally 17 coats on, gloves, hat, beanie, glasses.
No. And it's like, oh, I need my snood. What the fuck?
Who's snood?
Like, you know what? Just like the parkas, the mittens, the the layers, I can't do it. And then I obviously, every single person on this trip is like, Tana, you gotta come shred one day, one of these days.
I know
Even
better.
the girls and the gays, like, you're gonna love it. Like, just come, you'll love the lift in the lodge, and then you can do a bunny hill. And it's like, if I get hurt doing that, it's just like the risk and the reward with that is not there for me. Like, I keep trying surfing because it's like, I would enjoy that. I like the water. I like being in a bikini. The reward of catching a wave. I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing 90 layers and then sitting in wall sit position.
Yeah, and then snapping your collarbone.
Yeah, and like, I would be like, you'd actually have to 5150 me. And it just like, oh my God, it was so brutal. But it was a great trip. I had no idea how expensive Tahoe was too. Makoa too was like.
Yeah, the snow in general, like everywhere is you don't understand. It's like skiing and snowboarding is a major like rich people sport.
The trip itself, we could have been in Cabo for 2 weeks. And even when I was like, no, we have to do Tahoe, like the Kardashians do Tahoe, like Tahoe, so everyone goes there. McCall was like, we can do Big Bear, we can do Mammoth, those are they're cheaper. And I'm like, no, babe, only the best for you. Yeah, it was just $1 grillion, and not to mention the casinos nearby. Like, it just, whatever. I'm happy he was happy. Like,
well, I'm happy you had fun. And it's just like, I don't know, that was probably special for all his friends too. It's like an exciting, I remember my first, like when I first got here and I was like around like you and your company, I was literally like, who are these people? You know what I mean? Like, it's fun.
It was just really fun. And I think it's funny too, because my friends are just so different than them, like watching all of them watch Mario and Ari and everyone, and then they all were too, like snowboarding together and like seeing them catch little moments, and like it's crazy because it almost gives me a glimpse into like our wedding. Like, that's our wedding party, like,
yeah, that's important,
minus obviously you and other people that would be a part of it, but like it just like the crossover was so cool. And I felt like a little cabin mom. Like, I was just taking content and like OF all day, and then everyone would come home and I'd be like, welcome, we have snacks. And it was cute. I'm back in my OF era.
You are?
Yeah, I like had this coming to Jesus where I realized like these are the final few years where I would do that. And I like really
like
stopped.
what Benny says that. She's like, get it out of your system.
Yeah, and it's like, I just like thought I was gonna stop. And like, even just like on our tour, I was like, we're comedians, I don't do it. And then I was like, you used to make $1 million a month. Like, whip a
bend
titty
over.
out. Yeah, like, it's just like, I don't know. And I've been doing it lately and I'm catching so many broke allegations. Everyone's like, why is she like ramping up on this? And like, it's so funny too, because even when I do post the like OF shit, like the other day I was going to post this lingerie photo and I wrote out the caption on my Instagram and I was going to be like, my Instagram is a trailer. The link in my bio is the full movie. And like,
you would have gotten a call immediately.
No, do you know that I literally only saw you in my head and I just pressed discard?
I even almost said something when you did one of those comment this letter by letter for a DM.
I know. That one's funny because I used to do that with every single photo.
You get me every time with that. And I always think like, maybe I'll just do it.
It's funny because the
when
Paul
you DM me, I'll
brothers,
say you're so fucking crazy for this.
It's so ridiculous. The Paul brothers taught me that one back in the day, and
I get it for like engagement and stuff, but like, do you really? It's kind of like PC for PC or like.
No, it's ridiculous, and like obviously like most people see it and they're like, she's just doing that to heighten her engagement. But like, I gotta keep my money up, okay? Like, it's. Just,
I know, but if somebody looks at the comments and every comment is C-O-M,
it's crazy because brands are so stupid.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be saying that. Like, please keep paying me.
No, it is true though, because like sometimes you'll see, like you'll hear what someone's getting paid, and I'm like, I want to be like to the brand, like, did you tell her to unhide her likes?
No, it is wild. Like, brands will be paying these mega influencers the biggest 6-figure bag, and in reality,
be in your bag. Like, it's so good for you.
100%. But like, the brand would convert 10 times more sales with 6 micro influencers.
Yeah.
With Bop House members and Ash Trevino adjacents. Like, like it is just like so interesting. Whatever.
Well, congratulations. I'm happy you're back and probably so rich.
It's just, I just feel like, like when the nipple ring comes out, it all dies, right? And I've only got like 2 more years of the nipple ring. So it's like,
I think I might pick one up.
Really?
Yeah, now that I have these knockers on me.
Honestly, we could have a moment. But it's like, I don't know. I can't have kids with a nipple ring. I don't know.
You could.
I could, but then it's like, I mean, I have so much to say about Bad Baby, Alabama Barker, all of it, but it's like, I feel like we have to react to Ash Trevino and Bad Baby's music video on the Patreon. We should talk about Kaipo.
Do the people know Kaipo, right?
I don't know if the people know Kaipo. Kaipo is Makoa's cousin.
He's the sweetest angel on this entire planet.
He is one of my favorite people ever. Kaipo, if you're watching this, we absolutely love you. And they just grew up together, obviously very close. Kaipo was one of the first people in Makoa's life that I got close with as well. And he's just so loving and sweet, and like just the way they all kind of take me in as like their own and text me on the side, and like we all hang out. I just love them so much. But and I need to show you their baby photos if I never have.
You have. They look exactly the same.
Neither of them have aged a day. It's just like, it's so adorable and how close knit they are and like whatever. But with all of that being said, we're talking about this man like he's a teddy bear.
He's a bullfighter.
He's a full-time bullfighter. And I don't know how this conversation ever came about, but essentially Brooke and I...
We were at the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, were we? In Oklahoma, because
you ordered Buffalo Bites.
We were in Oklahoma for a show, and Kaipo was out there fighting bulls. So he came to the Cheesecake Factory with us. And obviously, we're exchanging stories about our day. We're like, we just performed this theater. It was amazing. And Kaipo was like, a bull attacked me by the horns. And the footage of it's insane. And somehow, I guess the conversation turned into like, what if we started sponsoring random things like bullfighting? What if we put the Canceled podcast on a jersey?
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like there's so many random like little places that we could advertise that nobody would ever think about. And we were like, how funny would this be? And like, I don't think I didn't think, at least in the moment, that he took it that seriously.
Me either.
He debuted this new bullfighting jersey the other day, literally with Canceled podcast across the front.
And it's so sweet because he did it on his own. Like we were essentially just saying like, how funny would this be? And I was like, if
we need to cut him a check.
We absolutely do. And you always see like Prime sponsoring everything. And obviously that makes much more sense. It's a hydration drink. The fan base is male, so sports, duh. But for some reason, I mean, I just always want to do everything Logan Paul does. It made me realize like it would just be so, if any of you are out there and you do niche things that are on camera, or just even just your workplace, like I think Canceled sponsoring niche things is like, it's our future.
You know what I want to do?
What?
Open up a Canceled school.
We absolutely should. Tessa Brooks does that, right?
I know. I've been looking into it so much. I don't like the program that she did it through. People, they don't do it anymore, but I've really been looking into it because I want to do it so bad.
I would literally love to. I would love to. Oh my God, imagine a Canceled school. We need to insert these videos, but first of all, we have to insert the photo.
It's just like
what do you fucking actually mean? Look at this, you guys. Like taking a bull by the horns with hot pink Canceled on his back. Like there's just, it's like so
that
iconic.
That particular photo is just crazy. Wait, I don't even know if I've seen this video. Okay, wait, Slay Thunder. I just watched the DCC doc.
And bullfighting is so crazy because what do you mean now you're going to run at this bull? In his Canceled podcast jersey.
Oh my God.
Because his job is to like distract the bull from the rider, right?
Yeah, to make sure the rider doesn't get trampled by the bull.
And it's so wild too, just the way he like breaks bones as if it's like us getting a matcha. Like, you know what I mean? Like he'll just come over like, oh yeah, this bull just stepped on my collarbone. Like, what's up? What should we do today? And it's like, what do you mean?
I'm not gonna lie, the rodeo is another one of those things that I'm like, I can't believe this isn't illegal.
Yeah, it's right up there with like UFC of it all. It's just like
everything, like from the human standpoint and the animals. Like the animals are really not fairly treated, and then also like the humans are like at risk of death in every scenario.
I was even just unpacking this with Makoa because the other day he was telling me Makoa's obsessed with watching people climb Mount Everest, and he's like always watching it. And I was like, if you really look into it, because obviously now like by proxy I'm always like watching people climb Mount Everest, which is just so funny. Like it's like Kardashians people climbing Mount Everest. Like I don't know. But do you know how many dead bodies there are and how many people die a year doing it?
And you just pass by them climbing.
Yeah, and I was asking Michaela, I was like, why does anybody do this? Like my brain is so like, yeah, that's cool, but like so many people die. Like, what's the point? And it's like him just being the thrill seeker where he's like, no, I imagine the sense of accomplishment, imagine the adrenaline rush, imagine the view. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if the view is literally leprechauns and rainbows. Like, actually, I'm not like,
Probably is by the time you're up there.
yeah, literally. And I just like, and even just all of Makoa and his friends, like watching them snowboard and doing all these flips and tricks and just the thrill seeking superseding your desire for
That's
safety.
a drug addiction.
I always say that. And it's like, even like just with Makoa now, I can tell. Because this is one of his like first more serious long-term like situations. He's had some, but like he always tells me like, I look at life differently because of how much I love you, like type of thing. Like I'm much safer now. Like I'm not going to jump off that cliff.
It's like when you have kids and you start thinking twice about the things you do because you're like, if I die, like somebody else is affected.
Yeah, it's crazy. He like was wearing a helmet snowboarding for the first time ever for me, and I was like, that's so sweet that you're like, you know what I mean, doing that. But I could tell a little glimmer of his sparkle had died a bit. Like, you know, it's just like, I don't understand it.
Have you seen the new trend about cave divers?
No.
It'll be like cave divers when they see your butt crack or something, and it's like,
Don't let my boyfriend.
it's a joke because
see
they'll
it.
like go through the tiniest little crevices. But that is like the fact that those people exist. Like those people are physically alive on this planet, and they genuinely like wholehearted see the tiniest little sliver. People just get stuck and then they just suffocate to death and die. That's another fear up there with MMA, which is like if I raise a kid into adulthood and they want to be a cave diver.
And even just Makoa's mom, like she's so chill about it, like because obviously that's her son, and he's always
I would
been
need
this
the
way.
most gabapentin anyone's ever seen a person take.
It's insane. I like to all the girls out there who are dating the like adventure man, just know that I see you so hard because it's like literally he like called me one day in Hawaii and he was like, I'm gonna go surfing in the jungle. I go, what, PEMDAS, what do you mean you're surfing in the jungle? Like that doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean? And then he like shows me and it's obviously just
Madagascar.
like, no cell phone service, anything. And I go to check this man's location and never in my life, ever in my life have I just seen a blue dot in the middle of the fucking ocean like that. Like no land to be seen. He has no service. It's like that. I'm like, how? Oh. And it's just like a panic attack. And it's like, okay, I'll talk to you in 8 hours and hope your surfing in the jungle goes well.
I know. What do? Put headphones on and take a nap.
No, and I just have to go about my day and just like, oh, where's Makoa? He's surfing in the jungle.
I'm too anxious. I'm going to have to be one of those parents who just doesn't know what my kid is up to.
Yeah, I'm going to be the opposite, I think, as a parent. Like, I just want to know everything. But then I'm going to have to be like the cool mom. So they tell me and it's like, oh, that panic attack.
No, I'd
I
rather
don't
just not know.
Yeah, I have to know I'm one of those, but it stresses me the fuck out.
Do you think you'll be a gentle parent?
I do take pride in my like emotional intelligence, and I hope that by the time I have kids, I will have continued to grow in that department heavily. So I think I'll like, even when I do see moms like understanding their kids' tantrum and talking them through it, like I think I will do all of that, like be very emotionally
I think
aware.
I think you're very you're not like temperamental, like you don't like snap at people or get like super angry.
Yeah, I don't. And I think that I also understand the impact of that, especially with the child. So I would like very much walk it off and stuff. But I also at the same time think that like a lot of gentle parenting raises like pussies and assholes.
Yeah.
Like it's like when your kid's chucking a toy car at a stranger on a plane and they're like, oh, Timmy's just feeling too much. Nope. No, I don't
think that's what I mean. I think I was in such a turbulent, like loud, like abusive, like environment that
Same.
Now if someone so much as raises their voice, like even like at like anything, I'm literally like, oh my God.
Me too. I always say whenever like that specific type of loud, shrill yelling will forever remind me of my mother.
It's
and that's
so like,
I
it's
also just hate
weird. I
yelling.
just started to feeling like really like, oh my God, do not like be like that around me. And it's crazy because I have a like temper and I don't know. I feel like I'm like a like angry yeller, but
no, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I grew up with two very big yellers, like just always screaming in public, always screaming. And it turned me off to that so bad. And I also think that when people say the first person to yell loses the argument, like it's so true. Like it's like, I don't know. It's just like emotionally immature. Like there's no point. But I don't know at the same time, like my kid's like, you know, eating a Tide Pod, I'm probably going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
You ate a Tide Pod.
I did eat a Tide Pod. Let's move on to the Patreon. Damn, this episode was a roller coaster, but like so good.
Sorry.
I feel like this was a really great episode, and I'm excited for our set to get built. It's
I
like
know, me too.
I'm at the point where I just want to get in there with hammers and nails myself because I'm so eager for it to be done, and just the everything costs $10,000 thing. But
Life is expensive.
it is coming, and we will have a new set, and we're so excited. And I love filming your apartment until then, but I understand how setting all of this up is like a big thing. So we'll be everywhere and nowhere all at once until the set is built. But thank you guys for your patience, and yeah, I have a lot to say still, and we're gonna go over to the Patreon and cook. But we love you guys so much, and
We're gonna react to on Patreon.
We have a lot to
lots of
react
things.
to. A lot. Ooh, I actually just remembered I have to be naked on our Patreon. Do you know I brought fully see-through shirts because it keeps getting
tits
leaked?
out for the Patreon. Whoever's leaking our Patreon on YouTube, count your fucking days.
Well, the thing is like obviously when people do that, you have to file claims, and it takes a while, and it still stays up. I'm kind of happy the Patreon got leaked because it's nice for people to see that there is content on there, and that we do things for the Patreon that we don't do that we don't do anywhere else. And we go to Home Goods and we talk our shit, and we are a lot freer on there. I think I'm gonna be naked on the Patreon. I forgot. Are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's not even a sexualized thing. I just think that it takes a while to like file the claims and whatnot, and like I could just get ahead of it.
Just get ahead of it. YouTube's not accepting you. You think you're monetized? Think again.
Yeah, so I think that my tits are gonna be out while we react, but that might be wild.
Tits out for the Patreon.
Let's go over there. We have a lot to say. Bad Baby, Alabama Barker, Ash Trevino. I was gonna say we're coming for you, but like not Bad Baby. We love you, Bad Baby.
We are not coming for Bad Baby.
We love you guys. Bye.